Hello and welcome back to Odds Checkers coverage of Monday Night Football. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary, joined by Elisha Twerski. Elisha, what's going on, my man?
Not much. I got to start with this right away. I just have to. You know I was doing it.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't do it.
I mean, what was it, 51-17?
No. It was worse, 54-13.
Oh, my bad. Okay. All right, fine. I won't do it. I'll wait until Thursday night. All right. So let's get into this game. We've got a interesting kind of game. I guess it can't. Last night was just a kind of a snooze fest, so I guess it can't really get much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take a look at the Monday night matchup between the Saints and the Seahawks. We'll pull it up right now, the Odds Checker grid. The spread right now, Saints favored by 4. What do you like in this?
Okay, like is a strong word. I have a lean. It's a really tough game to get a grip of. I'm leaning Seattle +4. I think that's at -107. Yep, -107. Seattle since 2011, they're 13-3 against the spread as home dogs. Those trends, they mean something in the sense that Seattle is probably the best home team in terms of home field advantage. They're 10-6 straight up in those games. Again, these are games where they're underdogs. They're 10-6 straight up. So I'm leaning towards them. According to Football Outsiders, Seattle is 6th in weighted offensive DVOA, which weights the most recent games. So it includes the Geno Smith offense. New Orleans is 17th. And even with Geno, Seattle has taken the Steelers to overtime. They were within 2 points of the Rams in the middle of the fourth quarter. I think they can, at the very least, keep this within a field goal, and they could probably pull it out. How about you? You got a feeling?
Yeah, I also am leaning towards the Seahawks at +4. I think the Saints probably win this game by a field goal, but I think it's closer than a lot of people anticipate. It's tough. It's a tough ask for anyone to go on the road and win in that building. And I know that they're starting Geno Smith. I know their defense stinks, but I think the offense will do just enough to hang around for a while. And then, I mean, would it surprise you if they won? I mean, based on what you said, probably not. But I don't have the guts to take Seattle money line, but I'll take them with the 4 points, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, are we that sure that Jameis Winston is better than Geno Smith?
No, I'm not. No,
me neither. I think it's a toss up there.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the point total. It's a relatively low total this week at 41.5. What do you like in here?
Again, like is a strong word. Gun to my head, I'll go under 41.5. Seattle does let me rephrase. New Orleans, according to Football Outsiders, they're 3rd in DVOA overall defensively. Between these two teams, only 3 of their 11 games have gone over. So I'm not feeling a lot of points. Like we mentioned both quarterbacks. Neither of these guys are superstars. I don't have much confidence in either of them to put up a lot of points. I think Seattle's defense is going to need to show up if they're going to want to win this game. And I think with the 12th man behind them, I think they could have a really good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the over here. I don't love it though. I just think 41.5 just seems preposterously low. I know these offenses aren't like, state of the art offenses, especially with Geno Smith as the starter. But looking at Seattle's defense, I think it's going to be a big day for Alvin Kamara. More on that later. But to me, I think they just hit it, like maybe like a 24-20 game, and we get a push, and the over just barely hits. I don't know. I know this is really bad to say on here, but I don't like this game very much. I don't want to bet too much on this game.
Well, I'm glad you said it, so I didn't have to. But yeah, I don't love it. I'm more a fan of the props than anything else. Overall, the lines are just, they seem like they're perfectly set, which I just hate. I don't feel like I have got an edge anywhere.
Absolutely. So let's get to some of those player props. I know that I want to talk about a rushing yards prop. I know you want one too. So you go first. Which rushing prop did you want to get into?
So mine, if you scroll down, you'll see Alex Collins under 45.5 rush yards, which is listed at minus 105. So New Orleans coming into this game is only allowing 55 rush yards per game to running backs, which is by far the fewest in the league. They're, according to Football Outsiders, they're second in rush defense DVOA. This is a really stout front seven, and they defend the run really well. Alex Collins, look, he's gotten over that number barely in one game in 2 of his last 3 games. But I will mention only 3 running backs have managed to get there against this New Orleans defense: Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Antonio Gibson. It took McCaffrey and Gibson 24 and 20 carries to get there. And on top of that, Rashad Penny's returning in this game. Collins is banged up. It's just a recipe for disaster. I think he's going to go under.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's an interesting play. I am going to go back up to the top here and go Alvin Kamara over 90.5 yards. This Seattle defense stinks. They are worst in the NFL in points allowed, worst in first downs allowed, and they've given up, I think, the third most. They rank 30th in rushing yards against. This just seems like the perfect culmination for Alvin Kamara to finally figure it out. He hasn't really had that prototypical game yet. His last time out against Washington, he had 2 touchdowns. But I mean, other than that, it hasn't been that prototypical year. He had 16 rushing touchdowns last year, and either 20 or 21 combined. And I think this is the game where we finally start to see him look like the guy we know him to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more inclined to look towards a rush yards plus receiving yards prop where you could probably get it over 100 yards, something probably like, I assume it's in the 120 range or something like that. But yeah, I think Kamara is going to have a big game. Like you said, Seattle, I think, has allowed their bottom 3 in rush yards allowed to running backs and receiving yards allowed to running backs. So they've been really generous to the position.
Absolutely. And was there any other props that you wanted to get into today?
There was just one that I want to touch on. I'll sprinkle a little bit, maybe like 0.25 units on Rashad Penny anytime touchdown. He's returning in this game. I believe it's his first game of the year. Pete Carroll said he'll get his chance. He's been healthy for a couple weeks. They've been ramping him up in practice. Like I said, Alex Collins is banged up. That doesn't help. Seattle has my bad. New Orleans has allowed 5 touchdowns to running backs. So while they're really stingy to the position, they are allowing running backs to score. So I think Penny can reach the end zone. A goal line carry, something, he can reach the end zone, especially if Alex Collins, if his injuries start bothering him, if they start to ramp up during the game, I think we could see Rashad Penny get in there, and the odds were really sweet. I think it was plus 300 or something. So I would sprinkle a little bit on that and just see what he can do in his return.
All right, you sold me. I'm both props with the running backs. I'm in on it. Again, I don't love either the spread or the total here, but if you want to get in on some of the props, absolutely get in on that. You could check all this out on oddschecker.com. You could obviously see what you like and get into it there. That's going to do it for our coverage of Monday Night Football. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll talk to you next time.